All right, welcome folks. I am Chef Saba. We're at Yale Appliance in Framingham, and today I'm going to be doing a live virtual cooking demonstration on induction and how to use a wok and a griddle. And I'll also talk a little bit about grilling on induction, but we'll cover that in a completely separate virtual demonstration later on down the line. A lot of people do ask if it's possible to cook with a wok on induction, and the answer is yes. You just need to get an induction compatible wok, obviously. This wok is made by Scanpan. It has a flat bottom, and it is a cast aluminum, so it has a non-stick coating on the inside. It is a higher price point, but it's definitely worth the money. You can definitely find carbon steel flat bottom woks on Amazon or other restaurant supplier websites or stores. They will be a lower price point. They sometimes come seasoned and sometimes not. So you just have to kind of keep an eye out to see what suits your cooking style. Carbon steel is much thinner, so it will preheat and cook a lot faster. So just some things to keep in mind. So let's get cooking. In my Scanpan flat bottom wok here, I placed some oil, and I have some beef that I've marinated in a little bit of cornstarch, soy, and vegetable oil. So let's bring our temperature up, and I'm going to lightly dredge it in some cornstarch, and then we'll give it a quick pan fry. And you're going to see how quickly we actually get a nice crispy brown color on the beef. It's pretty amazing how fast the induction works. Another great feature on induction cooktops, if you really do want to get a nice high temperature really quickly, is that you have a boost function. So with the boost, you can give it a surge of heat, and that can happen anytime during the cooking process. So we're going to give it a boost right now to get the heat super hot for the initial sear. And then we'll turn it back down to just hold the temperature. So we have our cornstarch dredged beef, which I'm going to place right in the pan. And I'm sure you can see it sizzling away there. So it's nice and hot. So I will actually turn the boost off and make sure that we have a nice, even bed of the beef here. And I've also noticed when I compared cooking the Mongolian beef in the flat bottom wok versus a regular round bottom wok, there's a lot more surface area at the bottom of the pan, which means more contact that the beef gets with the metal, which then ensures that you get a nice crispy crust all the way around. So it definitely serves its purpose. And you do achieve extremely high temperatures. And actually, to be perfectly honest, I did a side-by-side comparison of the beef cooked on the induction in the flat bottom wok versus the beef cooked in a traditional carbon steel wok on a professional gas range. And I actually preferred the results from the wok on the induction. It's pretty crazy, but this is why we do these cooking tests, to see how they vary from appliance to appliance, from cooking vessel to cooking vessel, and so on and so forth. So we'll let those get a nice quick sear. I'll continue to get the heat cranking there. Perfect. And in the meantime, let's talk about griddles. Now here I have, this is a Chantal brand griddle pan. In this, I'm going to now bridge the two different areas. So that is another feature that your induction cooktops can provide. So bridging means that you can just use one control for both. So I can use one control to bring the heat up and down, and it keeps it nice and even heat throughout the whole pan. So we're going to do two different things here. I'm going to just put a little bit of canola oil in the pan, and we're going to let that come to temp. And I'm going to griddle some scallion pancakes for you today. So hopefully these aren't too sticky. There we go. We'll just give that another minute to come to temp. And in my pan here, I'm going to steam some broccoli. So notice I have a lot of different things going on here, but we can control the temperature extremely efficiently, and you won't get a lot of residual heat from each item, so it won't get super hot on your cooktop, which does tend to happen with gas cooktops. If you have that many things going, you'll feel a lot of heat coming off of the working surface. So very little residual heat here, which is awesome. So in here, I have a little steamer basket, and I have my water ready to go. So I will just transfer some broccoli into here, and we'll check that in a couple of minutes. Place that back on. And the great thing about induction cooktops is you can actually set a timer right on the cooktop as well. So I'm going to set the timer for about 6 minutes. That's perfect. All right, meanwhile, our Mongolian beef is sizzling away, which is perfect. And let's get our scallion pancake on here to start cooking as well. Oop, they're a little sticky. All right, this recipe I used a couple weeks ago to test out, and the results were phenomenal. It's actually a Bon Appetit recipe. I should have put a little flour down, but that's all right. Perfect. All right, they came out phenomenal, so I definitely do recommend that. Let me give the beef a little stir here. Getting nice crispy edges. It looks great. Yeah, we're getting good crisp and browning on here, so this looks awesome. Excellent. So as I mentioned, precision and control. You can go from high temps to low temps very quickly. You can go from low temps to high temps very quickly as well. And you can hold those temperatures evenly as well. So we have our griddle, which means we can use the full surface of it. So one side, I'll do my scallion pancakes, and on the other, I'll saute some vegetables as well. So we can use the full range. Now, griddles, obviously, notoriously, they are associated with breakfast. So if you ever wanted to just griddle some pancakes or eggs or do your bacon on there, you can definitely do that as well. I forgot to season my broccoli, so let me just give that a little sprinkle of salt. And there we go. All right, so we got a lot of things going on here, but all really manageable, easy stuff. The broccoli will just kind of do its thing. The beef is searing away, and our veggies are sauteing over here. So we have a really good, even control, even heat. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment in our Facebook page, and we'll be happy to answer them live. And it looks like we do have a question coming in. So the question was, which wok or griddle would you recommend for induction? Anything that is a ferrous metal will be great. Now, I love this particular wok. It's a flat bottom wok by Pan. That's a Scandinavian, so Scan is short for Scandinavian pan. It's a cast aluminum pan, which is non-stick. It's a little bit at a higher price point, but it's easy to maintain, it's dishwasher safe, and you won't get any coating peeling off of it. It is high quality. So that would be my recommendation for that. In terms of griddles, I would say you could definitely use a cast iron griddle on a induction cooktop. I'm using the Chantal because I had this pan available here. Cast iron griddles are probably more accessible to people. You can find them pretty much in any home goods store. And I would say that those, just make sure that they have a flat bottom so that they sit easily on the induction surface. So that would be key. All right, we have another question coming in.
What kind of oil would you use for woking?
For wok cooking?
Yeah.
Okay, for wok cooking, You can use a neutral oil, or you can even use sesame oil if you wanted to add a little bit more flavor to your wok cooking. A neutral oil with a high smoke point like canola or vegetable would be recommended for wok cooking. Peanut oil is a lot of times used as well. Again, you get a lot of flavor there, but allergies are always a big concern, so that's why people have sort of stopped using peanut oil in a lot of commercial cooking, or just, in general. All right, folks, keep the questions coming. These are great. I also wanted to mention that our home show is this weekend from the 13th, actually starting Saturday to Monday, the 15th. We have incredible incentives. We are doing 0% financing in the store, plus $1,200 in package credits. So definitely something you should keep in mind. If you want to learn more, head to our website, yaleappliance.com, and schedule an appointment with one of our sales associates at either one of our 3 locations in Framingham, here where I am, Dorchester, or Hanover. So again, the home show is this weekend from the 13th to the 15th. You'll get incredible incentives to buy during this time. We have the 0% financing, $1,200 in package credits, and schedule an appointment through our website at yaleappliance.com. All right, and please feel free, keep those questions coming. I don't know if anybody's been following along here, but you'll notice I also have a piece of parchment paper right below my cooking pans and whatnot. And that is actually going to help me with the cleanup a little later on. So it prevents any of the splatter from getting onto my cooking surface. It's not necessary to use it, but it's nice to have it because it definitely makes cleanup easier. If anybody knows me, they know I love cooking and I hate cleaning. So this definitely makes life a whole lot easier if you can put something there to speed up the cleaning process. So I've also used things like, what is that thing called? Silpats, sorry about that, had a little lapse there. Silpats are awesome. You could oftentimes use those for baking, but you could put those down. I tend to not use them when I'm doing the induction stuff, only because it just makes another thing for me to clean. So I like the parchment because I can just get rid of it after. All right, our timer is going off, which means our broccoli should be just about done. I'm gonna get my veggies off of here, and I'm actually going to be using the other half of the griddle to do some more scallion pancakes because I have a lot more of those to go. So that's our timer. Let's turn that off, and let's get this guy. These look great, don't they? All right, fantastic. And let's get a few more items going on here, and then we'll finish up the next stage of the Mongolian beef as well. And guys, please, loving the questions, keep them coming. That's why we're here. We definitely want to make sure you're comfortable with your purchases. Yale staff is so knowledgeable. They're always willing to help answer any questions you might have about appliances or cooking questions. That's my area of expertise. So you guys keep those questions coming. All right, so here is our next batch of scallion pancakes. So the base for this dough was simply water, flour, sesame oil, and salt, and that was it. Pretty basic. And then I added, for my fat, I did add a little bit of chicken fat and vegetable oil to that, just to give it a little depth of flavor. And scallions, of course. You could add cilantro too if you wanted, and I added a little salt, of course. So here we go. Our broccoli is all done, beautifully steamed. I'm gonna get that out of the way. Perfect. All right, so I mentioned the cleanability of it. It's pretty amazing. The range of temperatures that you can use with your Induction is also incredible. I'm going to turn this off and get this out of the way. Perfect. And I'll put that right back here. All right. So look at that. No mess. I have some splatter here, but that's going to be pretty easy to clean up. All right. Let's get to the next stage of our Mongolian beef. So what I'm doing is I'm transferring this to a sheet pan, and I'm going to let any of the residual fat and oil drip out. So just kind of keep it at an angle for that purpose. And let's flip these guys over. These look great. Oh, these are gorgeous. I wish I could feed everybody, but next time. All right, so into my pan now, I'm going to put some garlic and some fresh ginger and some dried chilies. All right, and we're going to just let that saute for a couple of seconds. Again, high temperature. We're getting a really good sizzle here. This looks fantastic. Beautiful. All right, and I'm actually going to move my scallion pancake over here so they don't get soggy. All right, so guys, keep those questions coming. Happy to answer more questions, whatever you guys got. All right, and there we have more scallions. Okay, so we talked about the precision. In terms of types of pans that you can use, cast iron will work great. Just make sure it's not a very coarse one. It is a glass surface, so that means you have to be careful about scratches. So anything that's sort of coarse and heavy, you don't want it to drag across the glass surface and scratch it. So, and also notice I haven't picked up any of my pans to shake or to mix anything. I'm doing everything by hand. So that's something you also want to keep in mind. You can't do a lot of shaking on induction, just stirring. So you have to adapt your cooking style slightly. There is a slight learning curve. I always mention that with induction, but not anything you can't adjust to. It's pretty easy. You don't see a flame with induction, so you don't know when the temperature is high, because with a flame, you see a large flame, and that means you have a hot pan or a hot temp. With induction, you have just your little temperature adjuster here. So when you go to high, you'll see it start to boil and sizzle immediately, and that's when you know it's high. When you bring it down to low, the temperature will drop immediately, but each induction brand has a different temperature range. So, you know, it could go from 1 to 9 or 1 to 10 or 1 to 8, so, or it could just say simmer and high. So you just kind of have to figure it out once you start using it. I think we have another question coming in as well.
So the wok doesn't look as hot as it would on a gas cooktop. What's the difference with that? Is that the same? Is it just as hot as it looks?
So it is extremely hot. It might not look that way, but we are getting the results. And like I said, it won't be as fast. Maybe the gas might be faster, but it does get as hot. So when I did the comparison of the side-by-side cooking, I did the same exact recipe on the induction and then on the gas. The gas did cook 3 minutes faster, but the results from my induction were better. You just got a better sear, it retained a lot more flavor, and the overall dish looked better. So I definitely, that's a really good question. So it does, you still got, you know, satisfactory results from both, but I preferred the induction myself. All right, any more questions? Yes.
Do the scratches on a cooktop impede the performance, or is it more just a visual thing?
So the next question was, do the scratches affect the performance? Very good question. It's totally just a aesthetic thing. So they're obviously just going to be not very nice to look at, especially when you invest in a beautiful, sleek cooktop. You don't want to see big scratches on there. So it does not affect the performance, though. It's a complete aesthetics thing. All right, great questions, guys. Keep them coming. I'm going to do some more of my scallion pancakes here. All right. Any more questions? All right, we'll get to that in a minute. I am going to also steam some rice. So this is just something I'm going to serve with my Mongolian beef today. I'm going to just throw it in the steam oven because I have it already going and I have it here. So just put a little salt. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. And I'm just going to stick that in there for about 20 minutes. And we'll check on that in just a few. All right, perfect. So I did mention I was going to talk about our grill pans as well. We'll cover this in another live demonstration a little later on. But grills are possible, or grilling is possible on induction cooktops. You just have to make sure you get one that has a flat bottom and that will sit comfortably on the induction. This is a Le Creuset one. Lodge also sells a grill pan that's induction compatible. So just double check that it has a flat bottom so that you'll be able to use that on the induction. But we'll actually do a whole live stream on that separately. I just wanted to show you that to let you know that it is possible to do. All right. So we're getting, you can see, in terms of heat, you're not going to get hotter than that. I mean, we're sautéing our veggies here. And this is not even the highest temperature, actually. This is at a medium-high temp. All right, and our scallion pancake looks great as well. Beautiful. All right, we are just moving along here. And this is going to reduce a little bit more, and then we'll add in our cornstarch slurry. So this is going to thicken up the sauce. And that will go right into the sauce. And then I'll put the Mongolian beef back in and coat it in that beautiful sauce. So that consists of ginger, garlic, low sodium soy sauce, a little bit of beef stock, brown sugar, dried chilies, and then I'm going to add the cornstarch to thicken it up as well. So you can see we got a really good heat there. It's boiling and reducing down. Definitely going to get fantastic results with that. All right, so yep, veggies are going. Let's see what else. We have the heating capabilities we've covered, lower simmering capabilities. This is something that also I think a lot of people don't realize with induction. You can hold your sauces, you can hold your soups and stews without scorching or burning the bottom. So that often happens on gas cooktops or gas ranges because the cast iron grates hold on to the heat. So you will have a little bit of compromise in the texture and in the actual finished product. So you definitely want to make sure that when you use your induction, you can hold your sauces and soups at a lower holding temperature. You can also melt butter and clarify butter straight in your pan on your cooktop with ease, and you can melt chocolate as well without having to use a double boiler because it's that gentle. You won't scorch or burn it. So pretty amazing. What else? What else do we have here? All right, guys, just keep them questions coming. We have a lot more to cook, so I want to make sure you guys can see the finished results here. So we have a couple more scallion pancakes to do. Our veggies are just about done, and I'm going to go ahead and thicken up this sauce over here as well. It looks great, and it's reduced down quite a bit. Now let's add in our thickening agent. So this is actually double portion, so I'm just going to use half of it. And then we'll add back our beef. So it just needed a cup. See that? It thickened up straight away. So you definitely know the heat is there because it impacted that cornstarch straight away. All right, and let's throw our beef back in as well. Beautiful crispy beef. There we go. And make sure it gets nice and coated all the way through. At this point, I have turned the heat down. I don't want it to cook any further. I don't want the sauce to break, so I just want to coat it and keep it warm. And this is the best part about our induction cooktop, is that I can keep it at a nice warm temp without scorching or burning the bottom. All right, couple more scallion pancakes here, and we will start to wrap it up. And what's our time check? 11:27. All right, doing great with time. I'm not doing so great with my sticky pancakes here. Almost though, we're almost there. Perfect. All right, this one's a little odd shaped, but it's still gonna taste great. Also notice now that I'm not cooking anything on this part of the cooktop, I can use it for a working surface. So you wouldn't be able to do that really on your gas cooktop because it would definitely scorch and burn your vegetables or your ingredients. All right, looks like we have another question coming in.
Did you say you could melt chocolate on induction? Is that possible?
Yes, thank you for that question. So yes, you can get extremely low temperatures, which allows you to melt chocolate without having to use a double boiler. So you can just use a nice heavy bottom pan and melt the chocolate straight on the straight in the pan on your induction cooktop. And you can get, that's how low you can get. Low, and you can control that temperature. Same with clarifying butter. Pretty amazing and versatile. All right, gorgeous. Just gonna put a little bit more oil, and let's throw this one on here as well. Oh, this guy really stuck. This one might have to be sacrificed. I don't think. Oh, well, you don't win them all. There we go. All right, so Brad, do you want to zoom in here on the Mongolian beef and just show how nice and crispy and crunchy that looks? It looks fantastic. All right, guys, almost done here. And remember, our home show is this weekend from the 13th to the 15th. And 0% financing plus $1,200 in package credits. If you have any questions or any further questions, make sure to schedule an appointment with one of our sales staff in either one of our 3 locations, Hanover, Framingham, and Dorchester. All right, looks like we have another question coming in.
Do all the areas of the cooktops have the same range of power, or do they differ?
So the question was, do all areas of the cooktops have the same power? Yes, also you have the ability to boost, but not every single burner has the ability to boost. So you just have to keep that in mind. This is a very ugly pancake, so we're just not gonna focus on that right now. So yes, so like for example, the configuration here on our Wolf induction cooktop, you are able to boost on 1, 2, and 3 out of the 5 burners. So you would get more energy or option of more heat on those particular ones. But in general, other than the boost mode, it would be pretty even on all the other burners. And also, configuration is another thing to keep in mind for induction. You have several different brands that make induction cooktops, but not all induction are set up the same way. So, for example, this one has round little designated areas where you would put your pan to cook on. Brands like Gaggenau and Thermador have seamless areas to cook on, which means you can kind of place your pan anywhere, and the cooktop will detect where that pan is, and you can cook not with 100 pans, but I believe there's either 3 or 2 different zones that you can use, and you can put like 2 in one area, 1 in one, and 2 in another. Sometimes you can even share a cooking area if you have an odd-shaped pan. Sometimes I use square pans or long rectangular pans like the Griddle or oval pans. So those will fare better on those types of cooktops. And the Thermador one is called the Freedom. So you have the freedom to put your pan anywhere. So that's actually one of my favorite ones. And you have the ability to play around with the temperatures, like setting it on one side to a simmer, and as you slide your pan up, you can go to a higher temperature. So you would have to kind of program the cooktop to do that. All right, any other questions coming in? So far, so good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is start cleaning as well. I'm gonna just get this last guy off of here. This one's not gonna make it. So let's put that there. And I'm gonna show you how easy this is to clean as well. So let's turn the heat off. I'm gonna move this pan behind me. And now see the marks that you see here are residual from the pan. It's not from the cooktop itself. So that's why it wouldn't catch on fire. So we're gonna get rid of that. And parchment, by the way, it can take up to, I believe, depending on the brand, up to 500 degrees of heat because they are oven safe. So just double check your manufacturer. So I'm just gonna clean up some of the grease that came, that splattered on that side. But look at that, there's not much actually to clean on here at all, and that's pretty much it. And if it is a glass surface, so if you wanted to give it a little shine, I would recommend something non-ammoniated in terms of glass cleaner. And just give it a quick spritz. And that's it. So you have no streaking on there. But yeah, I mean, we had those pans on here just seconds ago. This area will still be a little bit hot because of the residual heat from the pan. This is the area where the Mongolian beef was. It was sitting, just keeping warm, but I can still place my hand on there and it's not gonna harm it. It's not gonna burn me or anything. So that's it. Clean in a matter of seconds. That would not be the case on a gas cooktop, guys. So that's another reason why I love induction so much. Love cooking, hate cleaning. So it doesn't really get easier than that. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you guys enjoyed our demonstration. If you have any questions, please keep them coming through. Send comments on our Facebook page or send the questions through Facebook as well. And this video will also be available on Facebook later on, so you can always reference it if you need. And just remember, the home show is this weekend, the 13th to the 15th, right here in Framingham, in Dorchester, or in Hanover. So schedule an appointment through our website, yaleappliance.com. And that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will just show you a quick close-up here of some of our dishes. And hopefully, we'll see you guys here in the showrooms. And there you go. All right, excellent. Take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.